Hi guys, welcome to our vlog. Fun fact, this would be pretty good content because we had a fire drill, Mr. Conte. So congrats, you got a fire drill. Holy moly, let's all name out our roles for today.
Theme connector.
Literacy illuminator.
Critic, I am the literacy critic. W is in the chat.
You started once. I'm gonna start once. So I got 5 themes. So the first comes from chapter 5. Syme had ceased to exist. He had never existed. So this passage marks the finality of vaporization. It shows the party's method of, they don't only execute the person, but they also erase every single trace of their life. Syme's disappearance is a stark reminder of the party's absolute control over reality and history, and this event is strategically placed amid Winston's rising happiness, with Julia serving as a bleak foreshadowing of what's to come. Fella, you have a question?
Not a question, more of a comment. I feel like everyone in English class, if you read the book, could see that Sam was getting vaporized. Like, dude, most obvious death.
I predicted it.
Yeah.
In my first literary critic, I said he was going to get slimed.
Yeah, but I told you that.
Oh.
Okay, continue. Yeah.
So
Just
the
want the credit, don't you?
discussion question is, what is the psychological impact on Winston of realizing Syme had never existed? And how does this event test the limits of his own memory and sanity?
It was pretty, like, based on what we know in the book and the experiences that we've experienced with Winston, this was the first vaporization, I'm pretty sure, of someone he talked to on a ever so often basis. And I think he was like, yeah, it was just another reminder to him, oh yeah, this is real. Like, the government really do this, you know? And O'Brien, which I think one of us are going to hint at later about mentioning Syme. But yeah, that was just very, very impactful, I think, Syme's death. It shows that, yeah, even us who didn't even grow up in that world could tell Syme was no good for that world.
But I don't know. I feel like there's not as much psychological toll on him because he knew. Like, he even said that Syme would be killed. He's the type of person, like, he's the archetype of a character that would be killed in 1984.
Yeah.
So there wasn't that much of an element of surprise to him. But I think to me personally, I just saw it as like a form of exposition to which Orwell could just show us how much they want to restrict individual thought. Like, I don't think there's much of a psychological effect on Syme, but that's just what I thought. Because I mean, he knew that his name wasn't going to be on the list. He knew that, I mean, he was killed by the party, both physically and on paper.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the second one is from chapter 5 again. It's the "You're only a rebel from the waist downwards" quote. So this quote highlights the main difference between Winston's intellectual, politically driven rebellion and Julia's private, instinctual defiance. So Julia's sole aim, from what I could see, was to outwit the party for immediate and personal gratification. Whereas Winston wants to join a collective to destroy the party's worldview. So the question is, which form of rebellion is Julia's personal waist down defiance or Winston's ideological defiance, and which is more dangerous to the party? That's terribly worded.
No. I understand what you mean.
Yeah.
When it comes to revolution, in more of a broader, give me a second. Is that is top down? Is it top down processing or some like that? Okay. So talking from just a general perspective, I think that V Julius can actually be more effective because it's a greater drive. Because obviously an ideology can spread faster and all that, but then and it's a bit more of an intellectual fight. But I think what you need when it comes to freedom is the raw want for freedom. I mean, Winston wouldn't be much of a rebel with just his ideology. It's Julia's actual fighting that, in my eyes, makes it seem like, yeah, to be honest, she's done more rebelling than Winston's small little fault crime has done. So yeah, I'd say that Julius is actually, or in Winston's words, bottom, waist down rebellion is actually better. I'd say that. Jenny?
I agree for the most part. I'd say it's more dangerous because I think in the book written by Goldstein, like he emphasizes that the party has learned and has made implementations so that the middle class, lower class can't revolt against the upper class. Like, and I think Winston's ideology it seems dangerous, but it's hard to rally enough people that it's actually a threat for the party, especially on the level of the surveillance of the society. Like in the sense how, I mean, Cameron just mentioned Simon being killed for showing any sense of intelligence or extraordinary intelligence. But I think, the Waist Down Rebellion of Julia is more, it's like holding on to innate emotions of like love, lust, and whatever, like curiosity or whatever, like these human emotions that the party can't physically, like, they can't manipulate yet. Like they don't have the technology to manipulate it yet. And I feel like because the party takes so much effort into trying to oppress these emotions through the Ministry of Love, the Ministry of Truth, I think that the party itself fears more of like people actually feeling emotion and like having these desires, having these wants, instead of just pure like rebellion against the party.
Yeah. When is the block end again? 2? Okay, no, we should be fine then.
Yeah. My third one comes from chapter 8. You can turn it off, he said. So this is the line where he realizes the screen above Mr. Charlton's got to be turned off, which is like he almost cannot comprehend.
Yeah.
So in the first time in his adult life, Winston experiences true privacy from the party's constant surveillance. So why is the simple ability to turn off the telescreen such an enormously significant moment for Winston? And what does it symbolize? And what does it symbolize that is more powerful than merely avoiding surveillance?
Like in when Winston's in Mr. Charrington's attic, well, he thinks there's no telescreen in there. So like when he, like, foreshadowing or spoiler alert, but a bit too late. But yeah, spoiler alert. Well, Winston thinks there's no telescreen in Mr. Charrington's attic, and I feel like in that moment he describes like a sense of serenity, a sense of like peace, knowing that he can just read the book without having to feel like someone's over his back watching him. And I think the moment where he finds out that O'Brien and people of the inner party have the privilege to actually turn off their telescreens for 30 minutes, 40 minutes, it's so profound because, like, I guess in a sense, he was reminded of, I don't want to say reminded, but he got a glimpse into the kind of life he had before, where he wasn't constantly surveilled, and how he could actually just be himself, and that's what I think was really profound.
Yeah. I think there's a phrase I can kind of calculate. I mean, Tai Chi's covered a lot of it, but there are levels to this, right? I mean,
Yeah.
and there really are levels. Like that's never been. That's the first time he's seen that's happened. I mean, do they even have a remote to switch it
I
on?
don't think
Probably
so.
they probably might not, right? I mean, that was just. I feel like that was really eye opening to him, and when it happened, yeah, like Tai Chi said, serenity of sorts. That hey, I mean, to be honest, blasphemous as it is, this is a heaven of sorts, right? Yeah, yeah,
And a random question, it's not on here, but
yeah.
why do you think the inner party is allowed to turn it off?
Why?
Yeah, turn off the screens.
When you're going to leeway, now let me expand on that. If you want to control a group of people, you can't lock them up too tight, right? And the inner party, all it takes is the inner party to overthrow in INGSOC because they are the most powerful ones. Outer party members, they actually don't matter. It's those inner party members that you have to keep under a sharp leash. And to keep them under a sharp leash, I mean, you gotta extend that leash a little, you know? So I feel that's why they let them have they have a very good life, like a better than what could be
Normal.
a normal life. And then that TV time, just so that they're like, hey, I mean, I'm getting benefits from this that I can actually like see. There's a clear difference between me and outer party members. So I think just again, there are levels to this.
Right. I think like the pros. I think the party's really smart in making it so like the pros are ignorant. They're I don't want to say stupid, but
Yeah.
they're like
Distracted.
they're distracted. They don't have the ability to comprehend that they're mistreated. Like they have no basis to compare like their standard of living to, so they don't know that their standard of living is so low. And I think by giving like the people of the inner party the privilege to turn off their telescreens, like it gives them, like Fella said, a leverage compared to like the middle and the low social classes. And I guess that that privilege, I guess, can be a sort of a form of encouragement, or I guess it makes them feel special, which could then be like twisted into further loyalty to the party.
Yeah.
Should I skip one?
Yeah, just
Okay,
skip
yeah, I'll
one.
just
Yeah.
skip one. So my last one is, a party member lives from birth to death under the eye of the thought police. So this short statement basically encapsulates the reality of life for both the inner and outer party in Oceania. And it's an acknowledgement that they're being surveilled from birth to death, and shows that they really don't have any privacy or freedom. So what is the significance of the thought police versus a regular police force? And why does the party focus on policing the mind?
Because I feel like they're genuinely in this world, because they police the mind, there would be no need to police the actions, right? Because the people generally don't they train them, so the government trained them so that the people don't even have the thoughts to commit crimes that would require a normal police, right? And if they do, I doubt INGSOC care, right? Because it's the pros and they're not doing much. Like you said, the party members, they don't have any privacy. So, I mean, committing a crime on its own just doesn't make sense to them. Yeah, they police the mind so that I think if you police the mind, you can it's like cutting up the stem of a root of it all. You don't need to police.
Cutting off the head of the body.
Yes, exactly like that. Tip of my tongue.
Like I think it's interesting that there's no laws in Oceania. Like like everything, like the truth, to some extent is like it's subjective, and I think in 1984, like the book of 1984, the truth becomes whatever like
The
the
Ministry
party
of Truth.
the Ministry of Truth wants it to be. So like by having thought police and not having actual laws in place, the thought police can just do whatever they please, whatever their agenda at that stage, whatever their agenda at that point says, and then they can just do as they want and vaporize whoever that they just don't find suitable to them. And it gives them that flexibility to like remain in power by, they can just, I guess, unlawfully take people away because there's no restraint of law.
Yeah. Okay then. That's it, right? Yeah.
Yep.
Righty. You are the theme connector, so I think I'll go next. Okay. Winston. I think Winston. I feel so sorry for the lad, to be honest, because my deep dive analysis on him was that I think he knew. Oh, you don't mind, you were saying? Oh, I think he knew. Like, he was trying to be hopeful, but I think he knew that at the end of the day, there was a very high chance this was a trap of some sorts, right? And just the complete foreshadowing on it. There was so much foreshadowing. So, a question. Oh, don't worry, hold on, let me cover everything else first. So yeah, just on Winston there, I'd say, just an analysis. I think he knew it was a trap, and he knew, I think he became more, it's weird. He had his progression mentally, I think, was a bit strange because in the beginning, there was no life to him, I think. I'd say he was like dead in sorts, like mentally. He didn't really have anything to him. And then he met Julia, and he's like, hey, I mean, this life can be something, right? And then O'Brien comes, and he's like, hey, yeah, no, there's a true possibility for rebellion of a sort. But then, like, you start to see that it starts to ticker in a sense, where he's like, yeah, I mean, there could be, but then I know at the end of this, there's death, there's capture.
Yeah.
The thought police are coming to me.
I think it's poetic, or I guess in a sense ingenious, that Orwell made it so the last thing that Winston said was, "We are dead." Julia also said, "We are dead." Like, it shows a cycle of death, hope, and then back down. Like their hopes of rebellion has been crushed entirely.
Spoiler alert.
Oh yeah, sorry.
That I guess too. And then
Spoiler alert.
how he said the last sentence is dramatic. The next one too. Orwell does really good last sentences. So I'll wait for you guys to get there. Maybe we can discuss it afterwards.
Have you read part 3?
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Yeah. I was really interested in this Orwellian culture. And then Julia, after reading more thick and thin about it, Julia, she knew, like, hey, I don't know what you're fighting for, Winston. It doesn't really, like, make sense. Like, just, we've been dealt these cards. Let's just make the most of it, right? And I think a lot of I think a lot of people, after doing a bit more research, could see themselves in Julia's position. Like, if they were, no, as in not even in a sexual manner, no, but like, her just approach to Ingsoc, how like, it genuinely, why do you care? It doesn't matter. We're lucky, oh, okay.
I think she just wants to live life how it is.
Yeah, exactly. She just wants to live life how it is. And,
Just comes to terms with it.
yeah, she just comes to terms with it. And I think a lot of people are weak, in a sense, like Julia.
She's submissive.
She's submissive, and
Like, I mean,
submissive.
no, the pointing wasn't necessary.
Sorry.
But like Winston, he knows that he's dead. He knows he's not going to see the reform of the party in his lifetime. But I think that's like the difference between the two. Because Winston, he's trying to see the bigger picture. He's trying to. He wishes that the pros will, like, in sometime in the future, bring a difference. But Julia knows that it's doomed and there's not much you can do. So she's just making the most of it from whatever that pleases her.
Yeah, and I think a lot of people would do the same in a sense.
I don't. Yeah.
Quick, because they're weak and submissive, right? But and then quick side note, or side question: if there was to be a revolt, how do you think it would come?
A what?
Like a revolution from the revolution of insult.
Like in the book or in reality?
In reality.
A rebellion of what?
No, in the book. I mean, in the
Oh,
book.
oh.
Like, yeah,
Well, then it would be the proles.
the pros. How do you think the
It
pros?
lies in the
As it said in
polls.
the book,
Said it twice.
if there was if a revolution were to happen, it would lie in the proles.
Mm.
Because the proles make up the majority of the population. They have, by all means, all the manpower that they need. However, they need somebody to lead them.
Exactly.
Yeah.
They're
That's-
just missing that one key aspect that connects them all together. Like in World War II, you had the Soviets. They had a lot of manpower, but they didn't really have a leader until Stalin came in
Yeah.
and led them,
Yeah.
and that turned them into an efficient war machine.
O'Brien. Okay.
Oh, Brian.
O'Brien.
Spoiler alert.
Spoiler alert. I'm pretty sure we all know the truth about O'Brien now. To be honest,
Wait, so is he part of the Brotherhood? No. Wait, don't spoil it.
I shouldn't spoil it. Okay.
Wait, no, because wait, what?
So, what do you
Wait.
explain what you know of O'Brien?
So he's part of the inner party, but then
Yeah.
he's part of the Brotherhood. He
Uh-huh.
gave him the book, and then he gets caught by the telescreen. Mr. Charrington is the thought police. Did O'Brien set him off? No, he didn't.
So
No,
maybe-
O'Brien is Brotherhood.
Am I going too far? Was this the part where O'Brien tortured Winston?
What? What?
Spoiler
What?
alert! Spoiler alert! Spoiler alert!
What?
Our bad. I'm not sure. Okay.
That's outrageous.
Oh,
Second time, Mice of Men, now 1984. Having a story spoiled to me here. This is
You were
outrageous.
saying spoiler alert. I thought we all okay. Let me just skip past
Oh.
O'Brien.
I didn't know that.
No, it's cool. I'm gonna skip past O'Brien.
Damn. So it's a setup.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah. I was wondering how we didn't get that.
Yeah, I
I
didn't
was
know.
like, dude, there's a huge correlation there. But I'm sorry, bro. I'm sorry.
It's outrageous.
But okay, the
Jason and Al
tone,
Cameron. Twice.
tone and image. What are you seeing, bro?
I thought Miss LaConte was here.
Oh, okay.
I keep
The
hearing that.
door
I keep hearing things.
The ghost of Rebecca.
Was that her?
I heard something.
I heard a voice.
Yeah. Okay, restart. Tone and imagery.
We can't
Tone-
restart now.
I'm sorry. We are sorry. Tone and imagery, okay? So my tone and imagery was the beautiful picture that I think was painted by the telescreen. Don't move or stand still or something like that.
They kept it was eerie because they kept on repeating what they said and then said like something else.
Yeah, I really loved it.
We are dead. You are dead. Something like that. We're surrounded. You are surrounded.
Yeah, you also don't move, stand still.
Stand still,
Yeah.
face away or something.
Yeah, I really loved it. I was like, oh my gosh, what a beautiful plot twist. And it really set the scene because keep in mind, we're waking up with him. And it's like he's waking up, we wake up too. I guess we feel that we are safe. Bang, no.
We're
Like,
not safe.
yeah, the thought police.
Winston's dead.
Do you think like the thought police like abuse that place like as a trap for people, for
Maybe.
other party members? Like I feel they do. because
it's a good setup.
it's a great setup. They
And
got
Mr.
Mr. Charrington.
Charrington.
Yeah.
I didn't know until now. Well, I knew Mr. Charrington was a spy, but
Oh, I'm sorry, bro.
no, it's okay.
Yeah.
I was gonna find out sooner or later.
Yeah. I just couldn't wait. I was busy. I'm sorry.
It's okay.
But yeah, geez, that's a little awkward now. You know what? Theme connector, I think we should move on there.
Move on. That's very interesting. That puts things into perspective. Anyways, one of the main themes of this section, as Orwell puts it, reality control, right?
Yeah. I mean, I feel like Cameron now would have said betrayal, but that is a spoiler in a sense. So-
I didn't know that. I mean, if they said betrayal, I would assume Mr. Charrington, but
Yeah, okay, yeah. So
That's just-
betrayal from Mr. Charrington. And to go a bit further back to where Tai Chi is, probably
well, where the class is,
where Tai Chi is, yeah.
where the class is, where the class
No,
should
there's
be.
like half the class
No,
knows where we are.
Yeah, a lot
No,
of
the
people,
class should not know that O'Brien tortures Winston.
Yeah,
It's
it was
outrageous.
So, it was so good because I'm sorry.
No more spoilers. No more spoilers.
That's fair. That's
Like,
very
how
fair.
do we know?
What?
Okay, so
What?
don't worry.
Wait,
don't
wait,
worry,
wait,
don't
what?
worry. Don't worry. He's joking.
Is he joking?
Or maybe he's not. Right?
Yo,
I can't-
this.
Okay, so moving on.
You can't. What?
Moving on.
Crazy.
It's really special. What was your thing again? Themes.
Reality
Themes?
control.
Yeah, reality control. Like,
Yeah. Page 206. I'm gonna quote this. Physical facts could not be ignored. In philosophy or religion or ethics or politics, 2 and 2 might make 5, but when one was designing a gun or an airplane, they had to make 4. You know, in the book, we see that the party tries to restrict and control thoughts and ideologies. They try to restrict individual thoughts and expression and freedom, but in the end, they're successful in making the truth to whatever it's meant to be. As seen in the Ministry of Truth, like they completely switched the narrative from being enemies with East Asia to Eurasia, or the other way around. I don't know which one, but in that sense, they can completely fool the population into thinking 2 and 2 make 5.
yeah.
But then, in even society of 1984, there's still objectivity that exists in the physical world. Like Winston still has that memory of seeing Goldstein in the bar. Like there's some things that are tangible that you know are true, and that you just can't go against like scientific facts when you're doing. Like you can't deny the scientific facts that go behind manufacturing like a gun or an airplane. So I think like the main takeaway I have is that the party can't change the truth, but they can change the way that people perceive the truth.
Raw. That's impressive right there.
Bar.
That's a bar. That is the Conte bar, in fact, because she's always spitting them bars.
Anyways,
It's a lot to unpack.
a lot to unpack, and I think this is really relevant in our society right now, with artificial intelligence and like generative AI videos. I think yes.
Actually, we don't have artificial intelligence videos. We just have
Are they not?
Generative.
no,
What are they?
just large language model text outputs.
What
right?
about the video of
We-
Will Smith eating spaghetti?
Oh, sure. Yeah, no, I'm talking about text though.
All that tone, and so forth. All the brain power.
Yeah, no, that's image AI.
I prefer the video. This is the evolution of AI in 3 years. I added a link so you can see it later, but this is this is Will Smith like 2 years ago tweaking out eating spaghetti, and this is him now.
Looks like a stock. Second one looks like a stock photo.
Yeah,
Wow.
exactly. It's scary. That's him eating spaghetti.
Also-
Well, it's not Will Smith. It's AI Will Smith.
She used Google AI Studio. It costs a lot per month, but you can make a lot of money.
Anyways,
Sorry.
sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
You did.
Oh, but
Happens
in
with
our,
Ichi.
in our world, objective evidence can be easily fabricated, and I think as we go on, it's gonna get easier and easier. Like in the future, I saw this Twitter thread about how you could be
X-thread, but yeah.
X thread. Sorry, I'm not caught up with lingo. In the future, you could be in court, right? Like
Watermark.
like watching a video of yourself committing a crime you didn't do yourself. You're like, I didn't do that, but the video's there. And I think when technology can be used perfectly to imitate reality, the line between objectivity and subjectivity becomes blurred. Like, I think at some point in the future, the only source of reliable information can become what we perceive ourselves with our five senses and our own experiences. And yes, hello.
To trail off just a little bit there.
I like the hand gestures.
Thank you. We can only perceive ourselves. Do you think then judges will still have a as powerful role as they do right now, that everyone's deciding, or will more of the deciding factor be put on witnesses? Do you guys understand what I mean in a sense?
I do.
Do you, Cameron? Because like when we're talking about like, oh, we're generating AI and stuff, right? I mean, you don't know what's true and what's not, and how Taichi said, so a lot more will be on like what you yourself perceive, since it's not like you can believe on the internet in like 10 years time, right? So do you think judges will have like less power in a sense, and more power would be placed on like a witness that comes forward with them doing something? Because a video isn't going to do much, right?
Not necessarily on a witness, because even right now in the court of law, the witness testimony is, you can't prosecute based only on a witness testimony.
Yeah.
You need that solid evidence. So whether it won't be like a video, so to speak, it would have to be an image or a picture of that specific evidence brought forward. And that specific evidence would also need to be presented in a way where it cannot, she's here, where it cannot be fabricated or altered in any way. As realistic as AI is right now, with its creation of all the images, videos, and all that,
Yeah.
there are still flaws which specialized people are still able to find it. And with the digital footprint of AI, the courts will also all have access to finding out the individual, where it basically came from. So I don't
know. Like 3 years ago, I would have been able to know that this wasn't Will Smith actually eating spaghetti.
Well,
But,
I
like-
mean, I feel like then it's like he's gonna send you. I
It's
feel
already on the doc, but this is like a comparison of 3 years ago to now, how like advanced generative AI is. Yeah, we're just saying how we do this and that.
we're actually, that's a conversation for another day. I'm sorry.
Of artificial intelligence, or
It's not actually generated.
what is it?
Generated. I can't explain it right now. That's
Yeah.
why I'll leave it for another day.
Okay.
But
Follow up.
the media,
We'd
with,
like to know.
yes, I will. With my tinfoil hat,
Yeah.
we do not have access to generative AI. The AI cannot generate it itself like that. It's pulling from multiple millions, hundreds of millions of different data sources, right? That's why AI, you guys would have seen, hey, using AI is like really bad because we're taking up a lot of energy, right?
Right.
It's because we're pulling from so many different sources, and videos are way worse than just text. Cause
Right, right.
Yeah, but I'm sorry. Conversation for another day. Let's continue.
Sidebar.
Sidebar.
Yeah, I like to illustrate it by hitting a home run, so we know we're a bit off topic.
All right, second theme, shared humanity and intentional division. I'm going to quote page 204. It says, if he were allowed contact with foreigners, he would discover that they are creatures similar to himself, and that most of what he has been told about them is lies. I think the party manages to remain in power by indoctrinating its citizens into believing that outsiders are inferior or evil. Like, they rely on emotional disconnection and blind loyalty. Like, if the citizens begin to view foreigners as equals and begin to like foster emotions of empathy, the foundation of the totalitarian regime would collapse because that blind loyalty is gone and the party is unable to control its people. And well, the party's response to this is just bombarding them with a bunch of new information and trying to redirect hate towards a common enemy, like whether that be Eurasia or East Asia.
It's beautiful, actually. It is.
Like the wars, or
No, I mean
the way
government.
the way they go about it.
Yeah, like it's
Yeah.
really impressive.
It is.
They know what to do.
It's yeah, because
Genius.
it is. They learn from their mistakes. But yeah, I think this is pretty applicable to what we have now in our society. Like even Russia and Ukraine, Pakistan and Israel, even past wars between like Japan and China, Japan and Korea. There's a lot of animosity. Like I hear about it even in my family of what they were taught in school and what I perceive is different to like what they perceive because of what they were taught. And I think it's that people are divided by borders, religions, and different ideologies, and they're taught to view other people as evil, which creates a mental barrier from actually seeing them as like human beings. And I think like all humans are a part of God's creation, and when we forget this common origin, it makes it easier to justify conflict and antagonize the other side.
I don't think anyone would be opposed. Yeah, it's very correct.
That's what I said.
My bad.
What about what?
No, don't worry, continue. Yeah, I can tell you, Sachi.
Yeah. One last theme I have is about the social hierarchy that they have in place in 1984. They have the inner party, they have the outer party, and then they have the proles. Like page 210, it's a really long passage, so I'm just gonna summarize it. But it's just like throughout history, multiple times, like the high are in power, but then the middle comes, and they try to overtake the high, and then the cycle continues of where the middle takes the high takes the middle, whatever. And then I'm just gonna read this sentence. The middle thrusts the low back into an old position of servitude and themselves become the high. And I think with the party, they manage to stay in power because for them, equality is it's not a virtue. Like equality itself is a danger for the party. And so they manage to stay in power by restricting equality, restricting freedom, because freedom leads to rebellion. And I think one connection I made to this was Karl Marx's Karl Marx, his theory on like society itself having like a continuous conflict between oppressors and the oppressed. And I think the party manages to break the cycle, and as you said, how beautiful they conduct it is by keeping the proles ignorant so they don't rebel against the oppressors. And because they have no basis to like compare their own standards of living to, that they don't feel oppressed to begin with. And I think that's why the party holds a heavy emphasis on restricting communication with foreigners, like I said, which allows them to stay in power.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think, I don't know what you guys think, but I drew a connection to modern society and how like the widespread availability of drugs like weed and fentanyl, especially in like Vancouver, Kelowna, like even local cities. Like it's not like compared to 1984, it's not an intentional act done by the government, but it's still an issue that causes people to be trapped in a cycle of poverty, and our society itself fails to properly address the problem at hand, and it keeps the low class marginalized. And yeah, that's the connection I made. What do you think?
Fun fact.
Fun fact?
Fun fact. Here, it wasn't intentional, but in America it was.
It was?
It was, yeah. So it was Ronald Reagan, CIA, was it?
CIA?
Was it
Like the propagation of weed?
No.
What specifically? Can you give on opioids?
No, they put cocaine into the streets Again, I guess I'll do more
DEA.
research.
I think I
Could
heard
be.
of that too.
Yeah,
Mhm.
no, but they put crack into the streets. That one is a even better example for you there,
Alright.
like that they did
I didn't know that.
on purpose. It's okay, yeah,
Reaganomics, like during the 1980s. Yeah,
yeah,
yeah, because it keeps like the police in business. They
Yeah.
can continue to like make busts.
yeah.
Yeah. And all things related to poverty,
Mm.
where people benefit from. Mhm.
I learned that one from Snowfall, Franklin Saint Disney Plus.
Interesting.
I have to cite my sources.
I'm away from that.
Well, even if it's not the drugs, if it's just like the continuation of war,
Mm.
you see, the CIA has done it time and time again. They've given weapons and firearms to different militias.
Mhm.
Yeah.
ISIS was created by the CIA.
Yeah.
Actually, I
Yeah.
don't know that.
The
What the
Taliban
heck?
was created by the CIA.
What?
The
Learning so much
fascist
today.
Cuba was also created by the CIA.
Yeah.
Wow.
Same with North Vietnam.
Wow.
And just so happened that America lost 4 wars, and those were the 4 that they lost.
Mm.
But it kept like big companies like Lockheed Martin,
Mhm.
Boeing,
Mhm.
McDonnell Douglas,
Mhm.
kept them all in business.
Mhm. It's true. The war machine, the war industrial complex.
Mhm.
I didn't know that. I didn't know ISIS was created by the CIA.
No more. You need to dive into Reddit.
I
She has something for you soon. What is it called again?
No.
No. You,
Oh, iAtlas. 3i Atlas. Oh
Free
gosh.
what is that?
Do your
Just
research.
Google, just YouTube that and leave it
Yeah.
The
there.
Real Atlas?
Yeah, she had this in AP Psych. She had this tinfoil hat. She
You
put
guys
it
have
on.
minutes, guys.
Right, of course.
We need
But
a
I'm-
fact check.
Fact checks. All 3 of us have facts. Facts.
I'll go first because you guys are still loading. Fact check number 1. The messenger extended a public note and without pausing to switch the enemy. Right?
Yeah.
Switching. So this connects to like World War II. In the beginning, Nazi Germany and the USSR signed a treaty becoming allies. But then with Operation Barbarossa by the Nazis, which invaded the USSR, it immediately forced people to change their perspective and change the thought of becoming allies to becoming enemies. Fact check number 2, party member lies from birth to death under the eye of the thought police. In the Second World War, a prominent player in policing the citizens was in East Berlin was the Stasi, who at one point had about 6 million people under their radar, which was almost a large proportion of the population of East Berlin and East Germany. They would also use a whole lot of unofficial collaborators to infiltrate every aspect of life, including workplaces, schools, apartments, social groups, and even families. So they sometimes blackmail one of your family members and they force them to spy on the rest of the family. Yeah, those are mine.
Fact check 1. Orwell almost named his book 1984 The Last Man in Europe. Fact,
Oh, yes, I saw that one actually.
fact number 2. Orwell's famous thought crime is a motif based on Japan's Kempeitai, which is a secretive police force around the 1940s that had the power to arrest people for their beliefs. Kempeitai. Kampai. Kampai.
Spelled Kanpal. Okay.
Cheers. Sorry, didn't mean to interrupt you there.
I'm not so sure. Okay. Fact 1. So fact 2, when in the book when they make the switch from the enemies being Eurasia to East Asia, that was actually inspired by Orwell's experience with media propaganda. Because in World War II, when the Soviet Union went from being Britain's enemy to its ally, it was actually newspapers quickly rewrote to match the new alliance. And that's also linked in a sense to doublethink. And then The rhyme, here comes a chopper to chop off your head. The nursery rhyme is from Orange and Lemons, a traditional English rhyme naming London churches. I knew it sounded familiar, by the way, because they sang this once. And
No,
then
no, you're gonna leave me
my
hanging.
last one.
You're gonna leave me hanging.
Oh, hey bro. Damn.
Lost your train of thought.
No, it's right here. Sorry. Yes. So Goldstein's character echoes Trotsky and the role of the betrayed revolutionary. So Goldstein, who think of Goldstein as Trotsky, and in Stalin. Trotsky was a Bolshevik leader expelled by Stalin, who later became a target and was criticized for his writings against the party.
He got killed by Stalin.
Yeah, he got killed by Stalin. And those are my 3 facts.
Mm-hmm.
You only need 2.
Only the 2? I did the Trotsky, Orange and Lemons. Oh, and here comes yes, okay. No, the switch from East Asia, Eurasia, Soviet Union, the Trotsky, the Trade Revolutionary, and the Orange and Lemons nursery rhyme. That's 3, guys.
No, you're supposed to do 2.
All supposed to do 2. Right, okay, my bad, guys. I thought we had failed math for a second. I was like, come on, guys. That's 2. Bye-bye.
Bye.